be just throwing stuff at the wall, see if it sticks. So Salt Lake has to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I guess you're something of a Salt Lake good luck charm.
I might be. I think every time every time I've called one of their games, they've won. But to be fair, they've won most of their games, regardless of who's calling them.
That is true. All right, we'll get things underway here now. Appreciate you all joining us for our relocated game, as it was originally slated for Monday night and pushed off now to I don't even know what day it is anymore, Joey. They all kind of mixed together, but here we are, and the game is underway. So Albuquerque is starting off on defense tonight, as the Salt Lake Hornets are on offense, and Alexander West getting the catch. 12-2 is Salt Lake, sitting up top the Canyon Division, and the Albuquerque Atomics looking to play a little bit of spoiler tonight.
Yeah, they are. And they're at home. Their offense has been, hit or miss, mostly miss, I will say, throughout the season. So, they'll need a big game against a Hornet team that is absolutely, of course, a championship contender, maybe the championship favorite.
Pass down to the bottom. What a juke move. Only able to gain a couple of yards. Let's talk about this starting offense for the Salt Lake Hornets. Jay Carter is the quarterback. Chris Allure, the halfback. Wide receivers are Alexander West, DJ Barker, and Noah Neely. Tight end is Adam West. As Carter throws to a wide open target downfield, and that pass is broken up. And you see the starting offensive line there. We've got Mia Pangori and Skippy Curtis on the O-line. Skippy in the chat as well. She's very excited that you're here, Ramos. She doesn't seem to care that I'm here at all.
Third and two.
Third and two. Play action on third down. Pass down to the bottom, incomplete, but some obvious holding on that play, and they're going to call pass interference.
Yeah, it's pass interference. I mean, if you're Albuquerque, you may try to plead your case for an uncatchable ball, but the referees are having none of it.
Shotgun draw on first down. Good only for about a yard. As we look at the Albuquerque defense now, Brick Novocaine is on the defensive line. Joey, Mr. and Mrs. Novocaine naming their little baby boy Brick. It's a very common name up here in the U.S.
Yeah, I imagine as much. So is running a 3-4 defense, but it may work well against passing heavy team in Salt Lake.
Second down and 8. Ball is handed off to Allure. Makes a good move, gets past the line to gain. Picks up about 9 on the carry, first down.
And Salt Lake doing quick work of the Albuquerque defense so far. And this is something that Salt Lake does very well. They're very balanced. They can really run the ball with Allure, but obviously West and company are very good ball catchers. And Carter has to be up there for one of the contenders for league MVP, in my opinion. He's been, the quarterback for the best team in the league.
Play action again. Carter looking, has all day. Backs up, ran out of time, and sacked. Brought down on the play by Trace Dixon and lost 10 on the sack.
You got to get rid of it. I mean, if you're not going to scramble, you at least got to throw it out of bounds and not lose all that yardage. You don't have a whole lot of plays, Mike, for, either second, third, or fourth and very, very long.
Dry fire guy in the chat says this is a touchdown, and then Carter promptly got sacked. Whoops. Second down and 20 from the 26. You're going to hand it off to the fullback. Joey, I know you said that there's not a lot of plays in the playbook for a second and long. Fullback dive is apparently in the playbook for second and long.
I guess that's the play call. You make it 3rd and 16. If you're the Albuquerque defense, look for West.
Carter back to throw, standing back at Albuquerque's 32, throws it into the end zone and gets the touchdown. What a dot. Noah Neely was his target.
Yeah, wide open. I mean, the only thing that you have to prevent is a shot to the end zone, and that's exactly what the Hornets do. Nobody covering. I mean, you look at a linebacker actually covering another receiver was closer to the action than the actual DB, who just get completely lost.
Yeah, and that DB that got lost was Alan Flanagan. That's their number one corner, highest rated corner on this defense. But Albuquerque's secondary is not one of the higher rated in the league. I mean, Flanagan just got absolutely torched. To your point, the linebacker was the closest one to the play, and the extra point is up and good. So Salt Lake on their opening drive gets the early touchdown, and that's just what they've been doing all season long, Joey. They've got 43 touchdowns on the season. That's not the most in the league. It's third most, but that's, third most touchdowns. I'd take that stat any day.
I mean, that means that you are projected to at least be a top 3, top 4 team in the UFL, unless your defense is really bad. But that's not the case with Salt Lake. The Salt Lake defense is really good. So is the offense, and they're very deep on both sides of the ball.
And Salt Lake averaging 28.4 points per game on offense. Meanwhile, their defense is right up there among the best as well. Third best in the league, in fact, only allowing 18.1 points per game on average. And, that's just a recipe for success. Meanwhile, if you look at Albuquerque's stats, who's now on offense here, Albuquerque near the bottom in points per game at 18.8. And they allow quite a few points as well, Joey. They average 23.4. So that plays right into Salt Lake's wheelhouse of putting up over 28 per game. This Albuquerque offense, Dennis Tolbert is the quarterback. Jackson Hobbs is the halfback. Shark Tarkington Jr., one of the receivers, and Bo Braxton is the number 1 tight end. You see the UFL bingo numbers. Those are from both of the games going on right now. We appreciate you watching us and not that other game, because, you got to pick your favorite broadcast crew, and clearly that was us. Jackson Hobbs with the carry, picks up 6.
And Albuquerque makes it a 3rd and manageable. This is exactly what they have to do. And both of your receivers, make Salt Lake think about your next move. I think it's very important for the Atomics.
Got to keep this drive going, but pressure immediately gets into the backfield, and a big tackle for a loss on the play. Nixon with the TFL and shuts that drive right down.
Yeah, again, this is a very deep team in Salt Lake City. Offensively and defensively. They have great ball players on all 3 levels of defense. And they can send, I've called a few games from the Hornets. They send blitzes pretty often, and most of the time they guess right.
So Albuquerque has to punt this away. It drops down at about the 12-yard line. Nice return in some space, gets all the way up to the 32. We'll mark that as a 15-yard return, which means clearly it didn't fall down at the 12. That was the 17. Sometimes it's hard to see from way up here. So Salt Lake, they've already clinched the division, Great West Canyon Division, which Salt Lake and Albuquerque are both in, as we see about a 5-yard carry on first down. So Albuquerque, really, like we mentioned, just looking to play spoiler tonight. Salt Lake can clinch the number 1 seed with a win, or if Dakota, who's playing in the other game right now, loses. Nice run by Allure on second down. He's already up to 29 yards on 4 carries.
Yes, and they involve Allure a lot in those light box situations, which is, when you have 4 wide receivers, the defense is playing in a dime package, and you basically have 4 defensive linemen, maybe a linebacker or 2. And for Allure, you just have to make a guy miss in the second level, and you're off to the races. And that's something that Salt Lake does very well, with that very good offensive line that they have.
Albuquerque quarterback Dennis Tolbert sitting on the bench hitting himself in the head here midway through the first quarter. Not a promising sign of your Albuquerque.
No.
That your quarterback is already frustrated. Carter rolls out right, throws, hit as he throws, though, and that one is incomplete. Pass was broken up by the hit from Trayshawn Harris.
Yeah, good job by Albuquerque putting the pressure and getting the quarterback rattled off the edge.
2nd down and 10 from midfield. They go back down to Allure. Tries to get around the outside, but the Albuquerque defense does a great job containing that run and finding another tackle for a loss. Loss of 1 on the play brings up 3rd and 11.
You know, and Albuquerque has been able to push Salt Lake backwards in a couple of downs. You know, we saw a sack on the last drive. The problem was they allowed a huge 3rd and 16 to get a pass thrown over their heads, so they have to be very wary about this 3rd and very long.
Defenders playing off the line quite a bit. Carter under pressure, throws a screen to Allure. He'll pick up the 1st down and more, making defenders miss. Gets inside the 30 and shoved out of bounds at the 28. That was a slick play.
It was. You know, that there's 2 ways about it for most coaches. You know, on 3rd and long, it's either you throw something deep past the sticks, maybe like a go route or a post, or you just check it down and on a screen, whether it's a halfback screen, a wide receiver screen, and try to get the blocks and the yards after the catch. So Salt Lake picked the latter one, and they get a huge 1st down.
Chris Allure averaging over 100 yards on the ground per game, came into the game with 1,400 yards. Obviously, that counted as a pass, so getting him involved in multiple ways. Carter has time, and he says, you know what, I'm going to run with it. Gets inside the 20, all the way down to the 15-yard line. And Jay Carter getting things done with his arms and his legs tonight.
Yeah, good decision by Carter. He learned from the last drive where he just stood like a statue and got sacked. So this time makes a decision, more than 10 yards and a 1st down for the Hornets, well into scoring position.
1st down and 10 inside the red zone. Ball is handed off. Run right up the gut. Good for only a gain of 3. Hopkins' 1st carry of the ball game. And Joey, this one could get out of hand quick. I know it's only 7-0 right now, but if Salt Lake's able to get another touchdown here, Albuquerque has a very big hole to crawl their way out of already.
Right.
Carter throws over the middle. That one's complete. It'll be a 3rd down and short from the 7-yard line.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, that's something that Salt Lake does extremely well. They start very fast in their games. And so, you know, if you're just down 10-0, 14-0 against a team like this, it's just very hard to come back from.
Carter looking, firing, throws, and they just make it look so darn easy, Joey. Touchdown Hornets, and they'll have an early 2-score advantage here as Lawrence is able to grab the touchdown catch.
Just back of the end zone, a little bit of kind of like a skinny post route of sorts, and just nobody in the middle of the Atomics defense. And to your point, I mean, Salt Lake, 2 offensive drives. They've been kind of put behind the 8 ball a couple of times on 3rd and longs, but they've been able to convert.
An absolutely rock solid team all around. You know, we talked about it at the beginning. They're 12-2. Clearly the top team in the league, and well on their way already tonight to securing the number 1 seed. But if you look back at their schedule throughout the season and you look at those 2 losses that they had, they're by a combined total of 6 points, Joey. I mean, the losses they had were 3 apiece, one of which was in overtime. Like they were that close to being undefeated this season.
Yeah. You know, and you can tell, and when they beat teams, they destroy them. Like you're not gonna see Salt Lake in a lot of nip and tuck ball games, winning by 1 point or 2 points. They're really, really good, and they start fast, 14-0. We've seen the story for the Hornets a few times already this season.
So let's see what Albuquerque can do as they bring that one out to the 29-yard line. Dennis Tolbert back on the field now. Didn't have a stellar first drive. It was a quick 3 and out. So 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and this is only the second time we'll see the offense out on the field for Albuquerque, and we only saw them for 3 plays.
Yeah, already 14-0 down.
Pass down to the bottom. Good catch. Good broken tackle. And picking up the first down is Tolbert, as that catch goes for 11 yards.
Yeah, good play. Breaking that first tackle, turning a 1-yard gain, if that, into 11 yards in the first down.
Tolbert in the shotgun, takes the snap, looking, has time under pressure, and he's going to get sacked. Brought down in the backfield. Terrence Holland with the sack. And a 2nd and 17 is definitely not what the Atomics needed.
Not at all. And you have a very good defense when you can put pressure with only 4 rushers. Because when you can do that and have 7 in coverage, then it's just very, very difficult. That's been the recipe for success, even in the pros and like in the NFL and stuff like that. Rush with 4, covered with 6, and you can beat some of the best quarterbacks in the league with that.
Yeah, imagine having DTs that can get sacks.
Oh, that would be nice.
2nd and 17. Ball is going to be handed off. Wow, and I was questioning that play decision, just running it from that far back, but pickup of 10 sets it up a much more manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, good play. It's catching Salt Lake off guard. You do have quite a few plays for 37.
I guess so. Tolbert in the gun, throwing deep down the center into coverage, but it is caught. What a play. What a catch. And Albuquerque in business. Robert Martin Jones, the unclaimed wide receiver 1, gets the catch.
Great catch. That's an awesome throw and a very good pocket as well. One-on-one coverage. I mean, really good coverage by the Hornet defense.
Oh, yeah.
The Albuquerque Atomic player just able to jump and get the ball.
Tolbert under center, 3 receivers up top. Throws over the middle. That one nearly picked off. I thought that one was about to go the other way.
Yeah.
Is DeQuavius Locke, the number 1 corner for Salt Lake, got his hands on it. In the Salt Lake defense, along with Locke, you have middle linebacker Don Mariano and free safety Jan Lopez. Tolbert looking under pressure again and sacked again. Brought down to the turf by Joe Malone, the one defender I did not mention on this Salt Lake defense.
He makes his presence felt on that one. Again, a 4-man rush. And on the one-on-one, right there up the middle, the offensive line cracks under the pressure. And it's going to be a tricky down here upcoming for the Atomics.
Looking to get some sort of points out of this drive, but a field goal really doesn't help them all that much. As the team just looking unenergetic on the sideline. They need to get things going here. And they're going to have to wait till the second quarter to do it, because 1 quarter down, 3 to go here from Albuquerque. Salt Lake out early in this one, 14-0 over the hometown Atomics. You're watching the UFL on the Virtual Football Network. I'm Mike Daggs. He's Joey Ramos-Lynn, a.k.a. Ramos-Lynn. You have no first name. Pass over the middle towards the end zone is incomplete. I like the play call.
I do too.
Just was not able to connect.
Yeah, I do too. That's about an 18-yard dig. So that dig route, 18 yards. I like the play call. It's just a great play by the safety. You know, the corner did good too on the trail technique, but the safety in great position to make the hit, jar the ball loose. And I mean, as Atomics, they have to settle for 3. You have no other choice.
37, maybe 38-yard try from the left hash is up, and it is good. So Albuquerque able to put some points on the board, but still trailing by 11. So it's up to this defense now. Try to get that ball back and give the Albuquerque offense a free possession, I like to say.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, you have to steal a possession, so what's going on defense or special teams right here on this upcoming kickoff. But yeah, I mean, you need to take the ball away from the offense of the Hornets and get yourself in good scoring position. Again, Salt Lake City comes in as the better team, the better roster. But if Albuquerque can make it a one possession game here in the second quarter, especially coming into halftime, they'll start to believe that they can actually do it.
Albuquerque as a team only has 4 interceptions on the entire season. All of which have been by Alan Flanagan, who we saw get torched earlier on. So swing route pass is complete for a gain of nothing. Flanagan, the first one there, missed the tackle, but reinforcements got it cleaned up. Second down.
Yeah, to your point, they need to make sure they force more turnovers next season. I mean, you're not going to win a whole lot of games when you only have 4 picks the whole year.
Another nice run by Allure. Only able to pick up 3, though. I thought he got a little bit more out of that one. 3rd down and 7, and a big opportunity for Albuquerque here to try to get Salt Lake off the field.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. Another 3rd and pretty long.
Carter from the 20 throws down to the bottom, and that one's complete. Toe drag swag. Way to catch it, keep your feet in bounds. Adam West gets the first down.
It's a great catch, especially for a big receiver like West. Yep, both feet in bounds, pretty clear, even though the atomic sideline doesn't agree with it. It looks pretty clear to me.
Yeah, all 3 of them simultaneously. He didn't complete it. Yeah, okay, guys. It was very convincing. First down from the 43-yard line. Play action. Carter rolls out left, throws to the bottom. Gets the catch. Joey, they're just making it too darn easy. Albuquerque's got to lock up this coverage.
And that's one-handed. That's a one-handed grab too. I mean, it's just with style points in there. Both feet in balance. Again, the atomic sideline. Trying to plead their case, but that's again another pretty clear one for me, as Neely has a first down.
I think Albuquerque needs to practice football more and less on their acting lessons that they're trying on the sideline. I mean, you got to cover them better than that. Listen, missed tackle there. If you have a receiver making a one-handed catch, if you have anybody remotely in the area, they should be able to break that pass up. He had time to one-hand catch it and then get his feet down about 6 times before he went out of bounds.
That's true.
Untouched.
Yep.
Carter hands this one off to Allure. Allure gets inside the 30. 41 yards on the day now for Allure. 3rd down and 1.
And we've seen that fullback dive from Salt Lake. So let's see. They dialed it up, and, well, they don't have a fullback there. I was going to say they ran it on 3rd and 20, maybe 3rd and 1 they would as well.
First down picked up. Lakeem Hopkins with the carry. And the Salt Lake drive will continue.
I mean, it's just, it starts from the trenches, Mike. Football always does. And when you have an offensive line as powerful as the Hornet offensive line, for my money, the best offensive line in the league, I mean, how do you stop something like this? 3rd and 1, I mean, people are just getting moved.
It's really tough. I mean, watching this game already, it reminds me of watching, like Division I college football, where you have an FBS and an FCS team. Look at this touchdown. It's like men against boys out there right now. Just how easy it is for Salt Lake to move the ball down the field against this Atomics defense.
And on that one, at least decent coverage from the Atomics. Like it wasn't a busted coverage or anything. This is, just the case where, the Hornets players are just better at this point in time.
For sure. So extra point pending, and we're looking at a 21-3 ball game here early in the second quarter. Is this, and there's Tolbert again, whacking himself in the head on the sideline, trying to figure out what he can do. What can they do to get back into this? Obviously, it starts on on offense, they got to put some points up.
They do. I mean, you gotta make sure you are not, stuck on third and longs. Because again, this Salt Lake pass rush has been so good here in the first half. You just don't have the time. The quarterback will not have the time to just pat the ball and wait for his receivers to get open. I mean, you need to make sure you be on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, play off of play action, and just get a little bit creative offensively to move the ball.
Salt Lake getting the ball teed up. Victor Ironleg ready to kick this one away to the Atomics. And so still 8:16 to go here in the second quarter, 21-3 already. This number 1 Salt Lake squad out in front over the Atomics. Hey, maybe we'll get a kick return touchdown. We did not. So Albuquerque will start with the ball at their own 27-yard line. And Joey, if this keeps up, we're going to be sharing recipes for barbacoa and quesadillas, and who knows? Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. We made some quesadillas here last night, and my lovely wife made us put chicken in them. Which, listen, quesadillas con pollo, they're pretty good, but
they are.
But man, I just want cheese. Why can't I just have a quesadilla with cheese?
I don't blame you. You know what? You're the same. You're that way with Mexican quesadillas. Like, of course, I'm kind of the same way with like donuts. Like, for example, we went to this place in Dallas.
Oh, Voodoo Donuts, yeah.
Yeah, that one. So they're good, man. They're cool. I liked it. Dude, it's just too much. Like, if you just give me a donut with a little bit of sugar, with some sugar or whatever, man, I'm a happy man. That's all I need. Like, I don't need all that, other stuff.
Some of the donuts, the Voodoo Donuts, have literal cereal as a topping. It's like, what are you doing? And quick 3 and out for Albuquerque. So, what other foods can we chat about? Worked out. Listen, this is a struggle for Albuquerque tonight. I mean, they've struggled all season. Honestly, they're 5-9. Not the worst in their division, but because you got Denver at 5-10, but Albuquerque quickly on their way. Looks like they might finish 5-10 on the season, and one game left this season after this one, and then it'll be time for the off season and some retooling. We'll be interested to see how the league handles the off season, and bringing in free agents, and doing some trades. Who knows what's going to happen? But obviously Albuquerque, a team that needs to restock, retool, whatever you want to call it, and I would say a lot of that starts in the secondary. It's not a secondary with a lot of strength.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and it will be interesting to see if some Salt Lake players decide to go elsewhere. Again, this team is so deep that maybe, the number 3 receiver, for example, goes to another team to be their number 1.
Sure.
So it will be interesting to see the moves around the league after the season ends.
Joshua Durr in the chat saying, do you have to flip between games for all the Yugo numbers? No, sir, you do not. You can stay here and listen to us talking about quesadillas and whatever other random things end up being brought up. All the Yugo numbers combined for both games will be on both broadcasts. Short pass over the middle. Good for a short gain. 3rd down and 6. And Albuquerque once again with that prime opportunity to try to get Salt Lake off the field. There are your combined Yugo numbers up at the top of the screen. They're going to do a draw play on 3rd down. And, hey, look at that. Joey Albuquerque got a 4th down out of Salt Lake.
Yeah, I mean, kind of surprising a little bit for Salt Lake. This may be kind of like their give-up zone-ish. It's 4th and 7. They don't want to throw an interception. I know Albuquerque doesn't get a lot of picks, but they don't want to throw an interception, make a mistake here in this area of the ball. They're just going to trust in their defense, and I cannot blame them.
Punt is away. It'll drop down at about the 13-yard line. See if I get it right this time. Returned up to the 23. Averaging 28 yards per return. Pretty solid numbers. So we look at Robert Martin Jones updated stats. He's been targeted 4 times, only has caught 1, though. It was a really great catch. It was that deep pass to set them up in scoring range, but the other 3 targets all misses. We'll hand that one off, and this Albuquerque squad on offense is not going to be able to get anything going there, as Craig is effectively playing in the backfield and gets the tackle for a loss.
Yeah, I mean, they try to do some motion, some fakes, trying to move the defensive line and linebackers laterally, trying to open up the middle. It's just not working.
Second down and 11. And that rush, good for only a gain of 1. Third down and long, which seems like, honestly, both of these teams have been playing in all night long.
Yes. Well, one team has been more successful at it than the other, though.
Yeah. And how can we tell which one that might be? Tolbert up top has a target, and that's the 5th time he has targeted Martin Jones, still with only 1 catch, and Martin Jones just kind of dismisses it. It's body language too, Joey. It's just they almost seem like, oh well.
Yeah,
like he had it. It hit you in the hands.
He absolutely did. He caught the most impressive one, one-on-one jump ball in the first quarter, and it's just been a big nothing burger ever since for the Atomics.
Punt drops down to the 15-yard line. Short return. Will spotted at the 19-yard line. 4.5 to go here in quarter number 2. Lakeem Hopkins gets his stats highlighted. 2 rushes for 5 yards, Joey. It's those are numbers.
Yeah, I mean, we may see more of him later on in the game. At this pace, they may put in the backups.
Play action. What? Oh, okay. Well, at least they broke that pass. Joey, I was about to lose my mind.
Yeah, especially because that was a draw play action. Like, you don't see a lot of that. Like,
I have never seen it.
They faked a draw and then one play action after it.
Swing route.
Good defense there.
Yeah, great defense there. As that pass only goes for a gain of 2. Not my favorite play. It's
double screen.
Just not a huge fan of that one. 3rd down and 8. Carter has time. Oh, he's gonna uncork one deep down the field. Once again, past the whole defense, but Carter's pass was underthrown, and the receiver just had to stop. Joey, if he'd thrown it maybe just a little sooner, that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, no, I sooner, or maybe just a little bit more arm on it, to be honest, because he had his receiver running behind everybody on defense.
Yeah,
he had to stop.
DJ Barker just had to literally stop for it. And
another good stop for the Atomics.
Yeah, so back-to-back defensive stops, but the offense still not doing them any favors. It was still only with 3 points on the board. Justin Reside in the chat says, don't put McCormick in that chicken quesadilla. No. Listen, in a good quesadilla, you don't need any seasonings. Just let the Oaxaca cheese speak for itself.
Pretty much.
Maybe just, I like to do just a little bit of salt on the outside of the quesadilla. It just gives it a little bit of an enhancement.
Okay.
That's it.
I can respect that. I can do that.
Just a little salt. But no, you don't need McCormick. You don't need McCormick on anything. Tolbert down to the bottom. That one good for a gain of 3. Man, now I want quesadillas.
Yeah, speaking of, do you guys know, you do, but everybody like listening to this, do you know that in Mexico City people do quesadillas without cheese?
Which is just mind-boggling. Because they call it, like if you want a quesadilla with cheese, you have to say that you want a quesadilla con queso, which means with cheese.
Correct.
But it's a quesadilla, which literally translates to a cheese tortilla.
Correct.
So
And this is Mexico. I don't get it. And this is Mexico City too. I mean, this is not some random town in, some whatever
some
state.
random state. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is a town. Like this is a place with like 25 million people.
Right. Ball is handed off. Denham able to get a couple on it. Second down and 8. Yeah, Mexico City's a wild, weird little place. When I say little, I mean huge place.
Oh, yes.
Tolbert to throw, firing towards the end zone. Has his man, but no. Incomplete. Overthrew his target. Pass is broken up. 2 minutes to go here from Albuquerque in the first half. See if the Atomics can get something going here before halftime. They're down an 8. Double coverage pass is it caught? Did he actually get that? He did.
Oh,
wow.
He did. What a catch.
Trey McDowell. Yeah, beautiful catch. They're missing the easy ones, but they're catching the ones in tight double coverage. Watch this again.
Oh. Actually off the hands of the corner, and then he bounces on the helmet, I think, and into the arms of the receiver.
Caught it on the second effort, it looks like.
Yep.
That catch is a catch. From the 20, throwing over the middle. Nice crossing route. See, that's a play I can get behind, Joey. A nice crossing route to the tight end. Bo Braxton with the catch and the first down. First and goal from the 9.
Albuquerque still with 1:17 left. You want to take your time. Do not leave Salt Lake with any time on the clock.
Tolbert, pressure on its way. Throws back in the end zone. Touchdown. 6th target on the night for Martin Jones. And he hauls his second one in. That one good for 6.
Really good cat. Right there back of the end zone. Similar to one of Salt Lake's touchdowns, to be fair. And that could have been a late hit at the end of the play. Right there, the linebacker just putting the hurt on the receiver. But good response here for Albuquerque. Now make it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I mean, never say never. It's still obviously plenty of football left. But there's honestly still plenty of football left here in the first half when you're a high-power offense like Salt Lake. They got 1:07. They've got all 3 timeouts. They could get some more points right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're making an 11-point game. Still Salt Lake has a relatively safe lead. They look mostly in control. But, again, you're giving Albuquerque a little bit of a reason to believe that they can do this. So.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
For
Getting back into the off-season talk a little bit, since we're approaching it. You mentioned trying to lure away some players from teams like Salt Lake. So just comparing these rosters is a good example of that. We mentioned Alan Flanagan, the number 1 corner here on the Albuquerque defense. And if you compare him to Aaron Willis, who's the number 2 corner from Salt Lake, if they could bring Aaron Willis over from Salt Lake to Albuquerque, Willis would immediately take over that cornerback number 1 role, which would allow Flanagan to drop down to cornerback 2 and, be paired up against, wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3, depending on the situation, as Flanagan nearly gets a pick. Actually, I think that was Rashawn Favors, the strong safety. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the offseason, because a simple move like that, you bring over Salt Lake's number 2 corner, he becomes your number 1 corner. It frees up your number 1 to become the number 2. Lots of moving parts.
I think he came back on the catch. Yeah, they're not going to get a first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2.
Well, an opportunity for Albuquerque again. And on 3rd down and 2, Jay Carter comes out in the gun. Standing back at his own 26, steps up into the pocket, throws a dart over the middle, and hits the crossing route up to midfield. Gets that one complete to DJ Barker, and a timeout is called.
21-10. Salt Lake obviously ideally wants to get points before the end of the half. Still 2 timeouts and 35 seconds. So you can still work the middle of the field. You don't have to go to the sidelines necessarily. You can still work the middle of the field. Again, no spikes in the UFL, and no huddle incurs a 10-second runoff. So
Carter going to play the sidelines on that one. Gets that pass complete for a gain of 13 yards. Played that sideline perfectly.
yeah, it's a great timing route. I mean, catch by Barker on that one.
Well, maybe he didn't play it perfectly.
I mean, at least on first glance, it looked pretty clean, but we'll see.
Was the far side of the field for us. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't see his feet there. See, yeah, look at this. Oh, he's in by about 1.5 yards.
I think so too.
See the call from the ref, and they say the ruling on the field stands as called. First down and 10 from the Albuquerque 37-yard line. 30 seconds to go, and clock is rolling. Carter throws down to the bottom, and man, Joey, that would have been a game changer right there, because there was nothing but green grass in front of him if he had been able to haul that one in. But pass falls down to the turf. Second down. Carter looking. Steps back. Has time. Throws over the middle, and that one is caught. He just gave the offense way too much time. It's impossible for the defense to cover for that long. Adam West was eventually going to get open.
Absolutely. I mean, the offensive line of Salt Lake just finding more ways to be impressive. Again, Neely, West, both West's players, they're too good. I mean, they're going to get open eventually.
First down and 10 from the 17, still with the timeout in their pocket. 14 seconds to go. Pass is batted down at the line. Carter now 14-21 for 202 yards on the day. Second down and 10, 13 seconds remain.
Take a shot to the end zone here.
Yeah, you'd have to start taking shots at some point soon. Carter looking. He's going to take a shot halfway to where it needed to go, and his receiver left before the ball got there. Pass is incomplete.
With 8 seconds, maybe you kick the field goal.
You still got one timeout. I think you got time for one last play.
You're right.
Carter looking, firing, end zone, caught for the touchdown. What a rope. Parker with the catch.
I mean, that's why I primarily coach and talk about defense. that's a great, what a surprise. The offensive guy says, no, go for it. Get another play. There's enough time.
Chuck it to the end zone. There's plenty of time. I was thinking that. I was thinking that right before the snap. I'm like, stick to defense, Joey.
Yes.
I'm out here scoring points right now is what we're trying to do. Touchdown for Albuquerque. For Salt Lake, puts them up 28-10 over the Atomics. And, just when it looked like they might be able to start clawing their way back into it, once again, a 3-score game. But how quickly that could have changed. A pass from Carter went right into the hands of Shaquem Morgan, one of the strong safeties on the Atomic defense. He would have for sure scored if he had caught that pass. And then we'd be looking at a 21-17 ball game. But a 14-point swing the other way. He dropped the INT. It allowed Salt Lake to stay out on the field on offense, and they capitalized on it. Now out in front, 28-10.
I mean, just the ways that this Salt Lake City have been able to be effective, especially on that last drive. I mean, that was engineered to perfection with 4 seconds to spare. They retake their 18-point lead.
1 half down, 1 half to go. Plenty of Yugo numbers have been called already. So hopefully somebody wins some Yugos out there. As we go to halftime and look at the halftime highlights and stats. Joey, your thoughts on this game so far?
I looked at a couple of points there in the second quarter where the Atomics really, we're trying, we're getting some stuff going offensively, defensively, getting a couple of stops, but this Salt Lake team again, the offensive line is so good, and they say it's hard to be bad when you have a really good offensive line. Because when you have a good O line, the holes open up. Even if you have an average running back, not saying Allure is average, he's actually very good, but even if you have an average running back, you'll be able to find some running lanes. Your quarterback will have time to throw. Your receivers have time to get open. And we're seeing it all in display here for the Hornets tonight.
28-10, the score at the half. Albuquerque will get the ball to start quarter number 3. Colin Northrup joining us in the chat. Says hi. Hi, Colin.
Hey, Colin.
He missed all the discussion about quesadillas.
Oh, he sure did. That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate, but something tells me we can revisit.
Yeah.
So stick around.
We can even have Cam join us and see how what he thinks about cheeseless quesadillas.
Yeah, I am interested to see what his thoughts are on that. As Albuquerque's going to start with a Shark Tarkington run. That one goes for -1. It's the first time we've actually called Tarkington's name tonight. Just trying to get him involved in some way, somehow, some fashion. But that is not it. That was well read by the Salt Lake defense.
Yeah, trying to put the shifty guy in motion and kind of trying to get some space, but well played by the Hornet defense.
Tolbert throws down to the bottom. That one is complete. Got it out to Tarkington, who gets the catch and picks up 6 yards. His first catch of the ball game here already in the third quarter.
Set. Maybe some crossing routes here.
Tolbert takes a quick pass, and it was a little too quick as Braxton was not even ready for it. Joey, and they got to be more in sync than that.
They do, and I don't think he was even the intended receiver. He just got in the way.
Yeah. Hashtag throw it around the tight end. If he's going to be in that general area, you got to go a different way. This punt is now away. And a quick 3 and out is not what the doctor ordered for Albuquerque. They really needed to get some points on that one as we see Jay Carter come out onto the field. Some highlights from him here in the first half. He looked really good.
Yeah, he sure did. He was very accurate, throwing for 4 touchdowns in the first half. I think he had like 7 or 8 incompletions and 4 TDs.
Well, when your touchdown count is almost the same number as your incompletions, you're doing something good.
Yep.
And there's somebody else that's been doing some good things, Chris Allure. He actually started off pretty solid and then tapered off in the second quarter, but Allure now with 47 yards on the ground. And I would imagine with a 18-point lead, we'll probably see a lot more of Allure here in the second half. Play action, though, this time. Carter over the middle, and that's another thing that we've seen just all night long. So is that something that you would attribute more to the offense or the defense with these receivers just getting so ridiculously open?
It's the offense for sure. I mean, it's the threat of the run game in which, Allure can break a long run in any given down, and the offensive line is so good that if you want to stop the run, you have to commit to it. You cannot just run 4 and, rush 4 and just kind of like get to the running back on your way to the quarterback type thing. You have to really commit to it. So if you do, then you leave the back end wide open.
Run up the middle. Good for a first down. You talked about that run game just a second ago, and it's big chunk plays like that teams are trying to stop, and Allure just running all over everybody.
Yeah, and around everybody. It's just a highway right there, middle of the field, just right between the hash marks. There's no defenders there.
Well, they say that life is a highway, and I'm going to ride it all night long.
We're that portion of the broadcast people.
I mean, I didn't start singing it yet, but there's
Yeah.
still time. There's still time. Hey, if I'm going to sing anything, I'm going to have to sing happy birthday to you since we're mere
Hey.
hours away from your birthday.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy to think already. I kind of like my last birthday was like 2 weeks ago. What happened?
Yeah, and Cameron Irvine confirming happy 13th birthday to Ramos Lynn.
I wish. I've known Cam for 13 plus years at this point. Well,
At
like
least.
13. Yeah, I think it was back in probably like 2014. It's like 11, maybe 12 years.
Well, okay. I mean, Cam is now claiming to actually be your father. So,
Hey, so he's just quoting movies now. So we're just quoting stuff. Where are that part of the broadcast, people?
Carter under pressure and brought down. Brick Novocaine, the one claimed player on this Albuquerque defense, got the sack and got the stop. Yeah, I mean, the game isn't over, Joey. The defense has done their part. They've actually, if you look at just the last, say, 4 possessions, 3 of them have been defensive stops by Albuquerque. Granted, one of them was an offensive touchdown by Salt Lake, but the defense is doing their part. It's up to Dennis Tolbert and this offense to get something going.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've been able to get those 3rd and longs, now 4th and longs. So, yeah, the offense needs to respond. You're right.
Punt is going to roll into the end zone for a touchback, much to the relief of Albuquerque fans, as that one looked like it it had an opportunity, Joey, drop it down at the 10. It could have died inside the 10-yard line, giving Albuquerque a really long field. But they'll start with it at their own 20. They're going to stick to the ground game for right now, as Hobbs able to pick up a good chunk of yards, 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, you cannot just completely abandon the run. I agree. I mean, you still have almost 2 full quarters to go, down 18. So you can still run the ball here and there.
That pass to the center field logo is, I guess technically complete by the center field logo, but that doesn't count. So 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, worst pass of the night, definitely.
Yeah, that one was just way off target. Tolbert trying to connect, finds the target, and Joey, that right there. Well, I guess they're going to call it a catch. All right,
yeah.
Never mind. I was going to crap all over him, but Martin Jones catches it.
I was going to say, probably worth a challenge here for Salt Lake. That one, I'm not quite sure.
I thought he missed.
I thought so too. Let's see here on this replay. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a good look at his feet, but to me, he looked out of bounds. Yeah, and here's the challenge. So, I mean, he was wide open, Joey. You've got to be able to connect. There's no defenders in the area. The closest Salt Lake players are the guys on the sideline. And the pass from Tolbert just way off target. And Martin Jones had to try to extend for it while keeping his feet in bounds. And
it's just a late throw.
Yeah. And they're going to say that one's incomplete. And too early to go for it on 4th down. Certainly too far back in their own territory. So once again, the Salt Lake defense, the Albuquerque defense is going to need to step up. And I think if they have a shot at getting back into this one, Joey, it's going to rely on the defense. A play like we almost saw Shaquem Morgan make in the first half, where he had an opportunity for a pick 6. They've got to complete some of those. Being down 3 scores, not only do you need a stolen possession, but you need some stolen points too.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Well, not going to happen on that one.
No, Allure almost broke that one for points of his own, now up to 67 yards. You see that average? He's averaging over 5 yards per carry.
Yeah. Again, just the middle of the field completely wide open for the Salt Lake running back.
So first down and 10 now. Averaging 5.1 per carry. 13 rushes, 67 yards. Pretty solid average. It's a party now. Ball is handed off to Allure again. He's just shimmying and chucking and jiving. Picks up 4. Second down.
And we just have to see more of this running game now. I mean, Salt Lake, 4 passing touchdowns, all of that. You know, they just got to keep the ball on the ground.
And that delayed handoff, well read by Novocaine. He gets the stop. They're down in 7.
Really good reach tackle right there, just stretching his arm and just pulling the running back by his waist. Really good play, shedding the block and getting to the running back for a loss.
Yeah, some great defensive line play by the Atomics, specifically Novocaine. Love to see if we can recruit him to our league. Pass over the middle. Wow, what a throw, what a catch, and the drive will stay alive as that one's hauled in by Alexander West, one of the highest rated receivers in the whole league. And that shows you why right there.
Yeah, and that shows you why Carter is also an MVP candidate. I mean, that's a laser throw on the deep post.
Man, do you see the size difference there between Alexander West and Demetric Clayton?
At least 2 centimeters.
Yeah, at least 2 centimeters, maybe 20. Oh, that's a nice play design there too. A lot of decent plays getting Allure involved in the passing game. So Alexander West at 6'4", 231 pounds. Meanwhile, Clayton 5'9", 185. That's the sort of thing where I'm talking about. It looks like men against boys as that run all the way down to the 1. Now they'll mark him at the 2-yard line. First rush for McLean. Second down and 1. They actually can get a first down before scoring.
I'll run it to the left here.
They're going to run it to the right just to spite you, and it works well. Touchdown for the Hornets. And this one is now, I would say, officially out of hand with a 4-score game at this stage.
I mean, just look at the block, and there's literally nobody in that picture from that sky cam. Just the seal is well blocked, no penetration from the inside, no defenders trying to catch the running back from behind. I mean, it's just, watertight blocking.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration over on the Albuquerque sideline. We saw it earlier on. We saw Dennis Tolbert hitting himself in the helmet, sitting on the bench with his face in his hands midway through the first quarter. So, it's not a great look for Albuquerque to just show that kind of frustration like they have.
Yeah. No. It's just been a frustrating now from the very start here for the Atomics.
So 35-10 the score. 3:20 to go here in quarter number 3. See what Albuquerque can do.
Unless something crazy happens, it looks like Salt Lake's going to lock in that number 1 seed, and we're going to see which team can even be competitive against them. They've lost a couple of games by 3 points, but it just looks like every game they're just blowing out the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even close. This one now a 4-score game. And, it's just great defensive play by Salt Lake coupled with their offense. I mean, their offense has looked unstoppable, and the defense is just making life impossible for Albuquerque. They can't throw, they can't run. But part of the problem, too, is Albuquerque, we saw it on the last drive, a wide open receiver was just totally overthrown, and, he couldn't keep his feet in bounds to get the catch. Open receiver there is able to get the completion, but already it's a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah. Another bunch. Let's see if they can get open this time.
Tolbert. Incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, they're just on everybody. We see Salt Lake receivers running scot-free. I mean, it's just struggle. I mean, the only catches really that we can remember from Albuquerque are those 2 really difficult circus catches in tight coverage. Just because it seems like every ball is thrown into either very tight single coverage or even double coverage.
Punt drops down at the 13-yard line, returned up to the 25. And not only have we seen good offense and good defense, we've even seen good special teams play from Salt Lake. As we look at Jay Carter's updated numbers, 19 to 24, 282 yards and 4 touchdowns. Joey, you mentioned how this team just absolutely has been blowing out teams all season long. You look all the way back to week 1 when Salt Lake was on the road like they are tonight, a rare overthrow by Carter. They were in Montana, taking on the Montana Silvertips. Just demolished them, 37-6 in their first game of the season. Then they had their season opener. They hosted their season home opener, I should say. They hosted Denver, beat them 25-10. So, 2-score ball game there. Wow, about to go up by 5 scores. Then they did find their first loss of the season in their 3rd game. But like we talked about at the beginning, that was only a 3-point loss. They were in Washington. They took on the Knights and lost that one 30-27. So close game. They were able to get back into the winning column the next week in Las Vegas. This was one of their few wins that were a closer game, 15-9 victory over the Las Vegas Devils. And then, back to their blowout ways. They went and took on San Diego and destroyed them 41-17. I mean, and they've had plenty of games like that this season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of them. And they're very balanced too, on all faces. They run the ball as much as they throw it for the most part. They can put pressure on the quarterback to stop the run. They have a strong secondary.
Another wide open pass to Adam West.
Wow. Again, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Every drive we see players running scot-free. Actually, that was not the best throw again from the quarterback, and West kind of has to, reach back for it, and still gets big yardage.
Here's a fun fact. Now, like if you win a game 41-17, you're going to think that's a pretty solid victory, right? They've done it twice this season. They've beaten 2 teams 41-17. Heck, they got a chance to do it again tonight. Actually, they could win this one 42-10 if they play their cards right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to do. I mean, in a league like the UFL, where we've seen the standings, a lot of teams fighting in that 7-7 record, 8-6 record. A lot of teams are kind of like in that middle of the standings, and so there's not a whole lot of difference for the most part from one team to another. But Salt Lake is just kind of like that outlier.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the next closest team, San Diego, at 11-4, as that run by Allure gets them all the way down to the 2. But it certainly looks like Salt Lake is going to come out of here with a win. If I'm a betting man, I'm going to take that bet. But that'll bring them up to 13-2, and I honestly don't know if there's anybody that can stop them from going 14-2 on the season. But they do finish up the season hosting the Las Vegas Devils, so it will be a Salt Lake home game. Vegas obviously is a good team. They're 10-5 on the season, but they played them earlier on, and Salt Lake already got 1 win over Vegas. Granted, it was the close game, the low-scoring game, 15-9 win. Is that touchdown puts them over 40 on the day here as we wrap up the third quarter.
It's just another week, another 40 burger for the Hornets. Again, look at the tight end. Even look at everybody just moving people.
Just another Thursday for Salt Lake.
There you go.
As Martin Jones still frustrated on the sideline. As the PA announcer said, the kicker is on for the point after. Iron leg puts it up and through, 42-10. 3 quarters in the books. One remains here from Albuquerque, and look at the scoring, Joey. Just 2 touchdowns per quarter.
Yep, perfectly balanced for Salt Lake, and they're just not showing any signs of slowing down.
Currently on pace to put 56 points up on the day, and that would tie Portland for the most points scored in a single game this season. Albuquerque kneeling the ball down in the end zone, bring it out to the 25-yard line. Dennis Tolbert has had a frustrating night to forget as he jogs his way back out onto the field. And at this point, just trying to play for pride. The season's done. They've missed the playoffs. And it's time to start retooling. But you still want to win some games. You still want to put up some points, I should say. And see what they're capable of getting done here against a rather stout Salt Lake defense.
Yeah, and practice some stuff, get experience, coming up for next season as well.
Looks like they'll be in the 2-minute drill here the rest of the way. As they go into the no-huddle offense, 3rd down and 7. They'll hurry back to the line, up to the 27-yard line. Tolbert to pass. Pressure was on its way. Finds his target over the middle. Great connection to Martin Jones. 1st down and 10 up by the 48-yard line.
We'll keep going with that no huddle. I mean, for Salt Lake, it's kind of cover deep.
Tolbert under pressure, brought down, sacked again. He's been getting hit quite often tonight as Roosevelt Nixon gets another one.
Yep, 3rd sack of the night for the Hornet defense.
34's the mic, 34. Check in. Let's go, you tighten up. Let's go, you tighten up.
Another sack. 2nd of the night for Nixon. Oh, there's that 3rd and 28. I mean, again, not a whole lot of plays for that.
Mike, 53.
Yeah, we could always do a fullback dive. Tolbert throw. He's going to loft it up over the middle, and that one is complete up by midfield. And it wasn't a fullback dive, but it was a halfback pass. They threw it to Jackson Hobbs. Gets the catch, 4th down and 7. And actually interested to see if they'll go for it here or if they'll just call it a night and punt it away.
Who knows? I mean, I guess why not? Yeah, ultimately, is again some practice and playing for pride and fighting until the end. But they will punt.
They will indeed punt this one away, or they'll fake it. Fake it.
Oh my God, block punt.
Or just get it blocked. That's fine. Told you should have faked it. Punt is blocked. Bad goes to worse. I mean, nothing can work right for Albuquerque. But kudos to this Salt Lake squad. Like I said, they've been getting it done in all 3 phases of the game. Punt returns have yielded good yardage. They haven't had but 1 kick return the whole game, but the punt returns have gone well. And look at that play by Jay Carter, 22 of 31. He's got over 300 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns on the day. Very impressive stats for Mr. Carter.
Yeah, very impressive for Alert too. I mean, again, another 10+ yard rush. Now up to a $108 and 18 carries, averaging more than 5 yards per carry, almost 6 yards a total.
I'm jealous. I don't know, man.
Hey.
I'm gonna come back to you.
Do you think Supremo can play for this offensive line?
Heck no.
Absolutely not.
Carter, did he just throw it to an O lineman?
Well, yeah, that's something. Yeah, exactly. That's something that Supremo cannot do.
He can't catch. He can't catch a cold, let alone a football.
Absolutely not.
How is he even eligible?
Hey.
Bailey with the catch. Redonkulous. Hands it off to Allure. He's going to get wrapped up. Still gains a yard, though. Third down and 5. They don't want to settle for a field goal here, Joey. They wouldn't be able to get 50 points that way. 49 is, I guess, the case would be, if my math's mathing. Oh, Allure stumbles forward. Tackled down at the 12. And big decision time for Salt Lake now. Do they go for it or do they kick the field goal?
Hey, man, game-changing decision right here. So, hey, you know what's crazy is that they ran it just kind of like, hey, let's keep the clock running, and they almost got it actually. But just
they
about
did.
Shy.
I thought they were gonna get. They're gonna go for it, Joey. High drama here in Albuquerque. As Salt Lake hands it off, they get the first down. It's first and goal.
That's just disrespectful.
It absolutely is. They have no mercy.
Oh,
no shame either.
Oh my God.
Ball is handed off to Allure. He walks in the end zone. Now, another touchdown for Salt Lake all but guarantees that they're going to win this game. However, before they even got that touchdown, they secured the #1 seed. How'd they do that? Well, Dakota lost in overtime. Miami getting the win over Dakota 19-16. Gosh, imagine having a game with that few points, Joey.
Yeah.
But Miami getting that win. Dakota loses. That secures the #1 seed for Salt Lake, just in case Albuquerque comes back in this one with 6:44 to go. It's possible.
Yeah, it sure it absolutely is. Going back to it, I mean, that's just Salt Lake wanted to get the record. I mean, that's all it is.
I think so.
You know.
Justin Reside says Albuquerque waving the white flag, and Salt Lake is just like, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not today. I want touchdowns. So what sort of birthday plans you got other than, a fun day at work?
I mean, basically just that. Basically just working, continuing game planning in the SFL, also on the BFN, channel. If you want to,
sure is.
Check out the SFL. If you're just coming from, because we may have some new people watching. They haven't seen the SFL, so join the SFL as well.
Yeah.
And just game planning for the SFL game, and have a chill day. Tomorrow, since it's Friday, working all week and stuff. Normally Friday end of the day, I'm just spent.
Automatic first down.
Yeah, I bet. I hear you. So we now have an opportunity to bring in Cameron Irvine. I'd say it was for something important, but it's really just a chit chat. How's it going, Cam?
Oh, it's going great. The fact that my audio
Never mind. He lied to us.
Oh, no, I was muted with y'all. I was just saying that, the fact that my mic worked the first time on this broadcast was a miracle, but then y'all couldn't hear me. So. Perfect. I just have to note, as this game has gotten out of hand, that it could not. Did he catch? No, he didn't catch that. It could not have happened to a better duo after I had to call Mexico City, Denver, on the Monday Night Spectacular a few weeks ago.
Oh no!
Wow.
I mean, I don't want any game to be a blowout, but I mean, come on, it's a little bit of karma, don't you think?
So, this is payback, is what you're saying.
I mean, this, you know, I don't know how it happened this way, but it did.
I don't know why Denver didn't score in that other game you're mentioning. It's, you know.
But hey, congratulations to Salt Lake. What is so impressive about this team, guys, is that since February, they've only had 2 opportunities to make adjustments to their team. I mean, that is remarkable considering that you're not specifically going after an opponent. You're just playing your game. And Salt Lake has been, they've been the best team for a long. Wow, that almost died at the one. They've been the best team pretty much all season long, but all it takes is one, guys. That number 8 seed in the wild card round. I mean, who knows? Then it could be over.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously been a very impressive season from Salt Lake, but once you hit the playoffs, then it's win or go home. So, they've proven that they're not invincible. I mean, they do have those 2 losses earlier on. So, they lost to Washington, they lost to Los Angeles. So, teams can beat them, but man, even those games, they were tight. One of which going to overtime.
Yeah, in the Washington game, they just pulled out of they pulled a rabbit out of the hat. I mean, it was just an unbelievable play. Look at 488 to 156. Man, I'll look up the most yards in a game by a team this season. Got to be up there.
Yeah, it's been a little lopsided. I know you've been watching both games throughout.
No, I've been watching one. No, I'm just kidding. I've been watching both.
Plays like that one. That's just what Joey and I have been seeing over here all night long. Is these Salt Lake receivers they're just running open, and these Albuquerque defenders just completely out of sorts and just look like they're way overmatched by these Salt Lake receivers and the running game. I mean, Allure is picking up 10-yard chunks before anybody even touches them.
Yeah, this is Salt Lake's first game with over 500 yards of offense. The record is 631 that Dallas did just 9 days ago, actually, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, sometimes what I've seen over the course of this season is that matchups make fights. This is a terrible matchup for Albuquerque. They have not been very explosive this season, and Salt Lake is nothing but explosive. Albuquerque beat Dallas just
right
3-4 games ago, and Dallas is the number 1 team in the East right now, but Dallas is not explosive like Salt Lake is. And so this was always going to be a tough matchup for Albuquerque, it's time to rebuild for the Atomics.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, before they had that win, in Dallas, they were on a 4-game losing streak. They got that win only by 3 points. Now it looks like they're going to go back to a 3-game losing streak and finish up the season here at home against the Denver Avengers. Been a tough night, and it looks like no quit in Salt Lake as they want to try to match that scoring record, I think.
Yeah, and that's happening because Albuquerque's not taking any timeouts because the game is essentially over. But the downside of that is that Salt Lake says, well, if you're not going to take any timeouts, then we're going to keep playing too, so that's a byproduct of that. But they are trying, right? they could get it on this drive.
They might. Be interesting to see. As I think Ramos just quit on us. I think he's had enough.
Yeah,
he's
just
like,
because I showed up to help doesn't mean that he gets to leave.
No, he's gone.
I don't remember him showing up in the 4th quarter in the Denver-Mexico City game.
All we did was show up in that game. What do you mean? 2-minute warning here in Albuquerque.
Look, the backup, Mike, has 39 yards on 7 carries.
So I'm saying the Albuquerque defense has just looked like a sieve. It doesn't matter who's running the ball or who the ball's being thrown to. Everybody is just wide open in this one. But certainly seems like the Miami-Dakota game was maybe a little bit more entertaining going to overtime. That's always exciting. As another pass to an O-lineman. We're just pulling out all the stops.
That's that 3 tight end set they have, but they only have 2 on the roster. So then Lyman ends up playing the third tight end spot, and that's a wild formation. Miami has not beaten a team in regulation since May 27th. They have 4 straight wins. They're 4-2 in their last 6, but all 4 of those wins are in overtime. Like, I don't know what to make of Miami. That's your number 2 seed in the East right now. A team that hasn't won in regulation since May 27th. It's going to be a wild postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, maybe they're just trying to put on a show for you. You know, clearly you don't like blowouts.
Hey, they put on a great show over there, that's for sure. Oh, no.
Allure is down to the 2. 30 seconds left, second down and inches.
Mike,
They've got an opportunity.
They're gonna run it because Albuquerque is not gonna call timeouts. They don't have to snap it. This would be dirty.
Do they snap it? Oh, they do. And punch it into the end zone for the touchdown. Extra point will tie the high score record with Portland at 56. They could have just let it go to 0, Cam. They just didn't want to do it.
And that gets 51 plus off the board for the Yugo players. So the 25th number of the night. If people stayed up late, then they might have won something tonight. Salt Lake sure did. They are ready for the postseason.
Yeah, they are indeed. 56-10 as the clock strikes 0 in this one. That is your final score here from Albuquerque. Salt Lake secures the number 1 seed 2 ways tonight. First with Dakota losing, and then an absolute dominating performance over the Albuquerque Atomics. I'm not sure Ramos ever came back to join us, but man, I'll give my own final thoughts. 14 points per quarter, every single quarter of the game. If that's not a perfect game plan for Salt Lake, I don't know what is. Just absolutely dominant in all phases. You can see it there, the passing yards, the rushing yards, 224 rushing yards compared to Albuquerque's 32. That's just to see a game that lopsided is not something that you typically see here in the UFL.
No, that was that was an impressive win for Salt Lake. 14 in every quarter, double the bump in time of possession. This game is one that Albuquerque and their fans will want to forget, Mike, because they all showed up on Monday. It was like the baseball game at the Speedway. They all showed up on Monday, and then the game got postponed, and then they all had to come back 3 days later just to watch their team suffer this loss. So glad this game is behind us, Mike, and thanks for hanging in there. I can't say that Ramos hung in there, but I can say that you did.
Yeah, I'm still here. He decided it was time to start his birthday early. I don't know. It's also his dad's birthday tomorrow. They share a birthday. So not only do they share a name, they also share a birthday. They're basically the same guy, I think. So, but yeah, that'll do it from us here in Albuquerque. Final score in this one, 56-10. Salt Lake tying the high score record in this one and just absolutely running and throwing all over Albuquerque. For Ramos Lynn, Cameron Irvine, Matt Wilson, who's always with me in spirit during every broadcast, I'm Mike Dykes. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to one another. Always choose happy. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.